Solo Shots on the Sweet Spot is brought to you by Dothan Cosmetic Dentistry, Westside Auto Care, Supreme Striping, and Mustard Seed Landscaping. Welcome to Solo Shots on the Sweet Spot. I'm your host, Corey Bradley, joined by my guy, senior tailback for the Eagles, Kyser Sims. Kyser, welcome to the Sweet Spot, my boy. My dude, it's my, hey, man, look, I love the Sims family. Known them for years. Grateful to have that connection with them, man. So, Kyser, man, I appreciate you being on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, so with the Sweet Spot, tell me what's your sweet spot moment. As you're playing a game of football, what's your sweet spot moment? Like this nothing gets better than this right here in the game.
Man, I have to say, when that student section gets wild, that's my sweet spot. That's when you score, get in that end zone for that touchdown, you come back and the student section's wild. I mean, there's nothing like that.
Man, you know, the crowds, like, there's nothing to a good crowd, man. Mm-hmm. Like, when you have a crowd, whether it's home or away, that support you, and you hear them chanting your name or the school's name, and just they're getting loud. Because, I mean, you know, there's some fan bases that are not for you unless it's going well. Mm-hmm. Eagles fan base is not like that, man. Providence Christian represent, whether it's a winning season or losing season, we know Providence represent when it comes to their fan base. So shout out to the Eagles. Man, got a big game coming up. Northside Methodist, huge rivalry, as we know. What does this game mean to you?
Man, I mean, Coach says it's the next game, and it's the biggest game because it's the next one. And so, I mean, really, we're not going to hype it up too much. Obviously, it's a rivalry. We want to beat them. But, man, we're not going to underestimate them, not going to overestimate them. We're just going to play our game. Yeah. Play Providence football.
Now, you know, it's a huge rivalry because everybody goes to church together. They've known each other growing up. Some of you probably played together at some point. What's some of the talk that's been going on between the two? Have you had any conversations with any of their players or over the summer or leading up to this game?
I mean, I got a couple friends over there, but we don't talk much about, you know, football, especially like this week. We haven't talked much, but I just know they got our game circled on their schedule, and I gotta say that I got their game circled too. So I mean,
hey, so you ready just in the same as they are?
I think I got that. I think our whole team's got that game scheduled. So I mean, yeah.
Man, you know, this is something I remember when I was with the Joy FM years ago, and it was first announced that, you know, Northside's making that jump to Alabama High School, and now they can play Providence, man. I just remember how big of a deal that was, getting up for that game where these two schools could finally play each other because of the relationships between the families and the students and everybody that's involved. So, as you said, it's another game on the schedule. It's an important game, but it's the next game on the schedule. The first win, Wicksburg, 33-7. How does that victory over that program help you as you prepare for the Knights?
I mean, we're coming in with a lot of confidence. You know, that's a huge win against a Wicksburg team that we really didn't have much film on. We really didn't know much about them. Yeah. So coming off that win, we definitely got a head of steam coming to the north side and hoping to beat them just as good as we did Wicksburg. And so I guess that's our fuel.
What was the difference in that game between Providence and Wicksburg in the 33-7 victory?
I mean, the run game, you know, it wasn't. We ran the ball okay, but I think it really was our passing. We got a good quarterback, Craig Pittman. He was dropping dimes, I'll be honest. I mean, he was really getting the work done.
Yeah. All right, so with Northside, this is a team that has 6 starters returning on defense, but only 3 on offense. So we know this is a team that's trying to find their way, just as any other program is at this time of the year with graduates, transfers. You know, there's always attrition when you're going into a new season. Tell me what kind of challenges do the Knights pose for this Providence Christian team?
I mean, the guys up front, you know, some of them are big on the offense, defensive lines. I would say just with our line's young, if I'm being honest, and we're honestly not the biggest we've been, especially compared to last year. We are significantly smaller. And so I think just maintaining our blocks and, you know, working with them up front and kind of just using our size to the best of our ability. And, just following our assignments, doing our coaches say. I think doing that is going to win us the game. I think just being the more physical team, really.
All right, Kyser. So for Providence, in order for Providence to move to 5-0 all-time against Northside and 2-0 on the season, which unit will be the key for the Eagles?
Personally, I think the linemen are going to be the unit, the big guys up front. Like I said, they're big up front, and they got a couple of good guys on the line. So I think just really just coming at them with full head of steam and not backing down to the challenge. You know, the big challenge this year is just us having with a smaller line and a young line is just I think maintaining those blocks and really just getting to them and not being scared of how big they are and their size, but just taking them for who they are.
Yeah. I mean, I got you, dude. Let me ask you this as we close. So the 4 matchups between Providence and Northside. The first game was 71-35 win for Providence, 49-30, 17-14, and then last year 19-10. Are the Knights closing in on the Eagles?
Man, I know every game it's seeming to get shorter and shorter, but I mean, I don't think this game's going to be a problem. We got a good team, and we know we're a good team. So I think just playing like it's not trying to hype the game up too much. I mean, we like to say that anyway. When we play Northside, it goes anyway,
Yeah.
And it's like we could have a good game, or we could have a bad game, or they could have a really good game. They tend to play, recently they tend to play really good against us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just going into it like it's the next game, and not like that it's a big rivalry and hyping it up, because it is just the next game.
Yeah.
I think just playing to the best of our abilities and not letting them dictate the game, but letting us control the game.
Kyser Sims, y'all heard it here first. Senior tailback for the Eagles. Kyser, I appreciate you coming on the Sweet Spot, boy. Yes, sir. Welcome to Solo Shots on the Sweet Spot. I'm your host, Corey Bradley, joined by junior quarterback Craig Pittman of the Providence Christian Eagles. Craig, man, welcome to the Sweet Spot, dude.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Man, so with the Sweet Spot, tell me what's your Sweet Spot moment when you're playing the game? Like, there's nothing better than this right here.
I would say probably when you get smacked, like when you just release that ball off your hands and then you get hit, and just completing that pass after you just got rocked is something that's amazing. Just being able to get up after you've been hit and just complete a pass, it gives you a little bit of extra, like, get up and get to it.
So. Yeah. So have you always been a quarterback?
Yes, sir.
Like, even as a kid, you was always quarterback?
So as a kid, I never really played football. 7th
grade was the first year?
Mm-hmm.
And here you are, but then your 8th grade year, you're playing varsity.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Man, talk about the evolution of your game as an 8th grade quarterback to now being a junior quarterback for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. So 8th grade year, I was really nervous and kind of just, I wasn't really sitting in it and just letting the game come to me. But now, I mean, the game has slowed down so much.
Yeah.
Like over the years, like even just growth from last year to this year, it's been just an amazing difference. Just feeling more confidence and really trusting all the guys around me has helped me out so much more. Just because this team now, we're just so bonded together and trust each other so much. And so that's really helped me out and helped me kind of elevate my playing.
How do you learn the game? Or is there any quarterback that's in the college game, pro level, that you like to watch and learn things and apply it to your game?
Somebody that I kind of was Stetson Bennett at Georgia.
Yeah.
So he kind of went through a bunch of stuff, just walking on, coming back to Georgia. But really just the way that he was able to use his legs and be smart with it. And he was really good with the ball, just knowing who to throw it to, and just his decision making I really liked.
Yeah. What do you feel is the best part of your game?
Best part of my game, I would say I like throwing the deep ball a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really enjoy. I might get a little bit too greedy sometimes, wanting to throw it all the time, but that's my favorite part for sure.
All right, so got a huge game this week, as we know, man. Providence, Northside, huge rivalry. Everybody knows each other. Talk about what that game means to you.
I mean, for me, it's just, I mean, I know there's a lot with other guys. So I live in Enterprise, actually. So I'm not as tightly woven into this as some of the other guys are. Yeah. But just to see some of my teammates that get passionate about it, that just fires me up. Just knowing that when our teammates care about it, that makes me care about it. Yeah. So that just fires me up.
Man, as a quarterback, give me the part of this game with Providence Northside. Which unit is going to be key for this group to get a victory?
I think for this game, I think it's really just going to be all of us working together as a team. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be any specific unit. I think as a whole, if we just play together, then I think if we go out there, every man does his job, I think we're going to be good.
Is there one unit you like to highlight, though, as far as coming into this year, what you've seen through the summer, what you've seen through their first win against Wicksburg, 33-7? Is there a unit you like to highlight and give them some props?
Yeah, I would say, also too, that stood out to me we had some receivers, especially first year coming back, haven't played a while. Walker Morton, he was outstanding. Him and I came out here and worked a lot over the summer. And also our O-line. Like our O-line, they're not the biggest guys, but I have trust and faith in them, and they showed up to play. So it was amazing. I was proud of them probably more than anything else.
That's awesome, man. Look, you gotta get the O-line a credit, man. Everything starts with the O-line, D-line. They're the heart of the team. Nothing behind them matters if you don't have that protection and that blocking and or just setting the tone and digging in the trenches, as we know. And everything starts off. So I love that you get it already, man. You understand where everything begins, man. O-line, D-line, they may not get the love and the props that they deserve, but everything begins and ends with them. So, Craig, I appreciate you, man, understanding that where it all begins and where it all ends, man. Those guys up front, baby. Calvin Mcclintock talked about the receiving core, Walker Morton, John Martin Bird, Christian Sutton, man, just some of the guys there. Dude, you guys got some real good playmakers and skill guys, man. So I've seen these guys for years, not just in football but other sports as well. So it's cool to see them now as juniors and seniors and as they matured. And man, it's one of the best. It's one of the best feelings when you see guys and girls progress and mature on and off the field, and how they've gotten better in their craft and the work they put in over the years. It's a sight to see. So as we close, Craig, man, this game, Providence Northside, dude, you look at the last few years. Look at the last 4 years, man. You got Providence won 71-35, then 49-30, 17-14. Last year's game was 12-10. Before you connected with Grant Baker, and Leighton Hagler ended up adding an extra point to get that 19-10 victory. Dude, what is it going to take beyond the line? I mean, like in this type of game, never know what's going to happen. Never knows what's going to happen because of the rivalry, right? But in order for Providence to move to 5-0 against this team, 2-0 in the season, give me some things that you can't do in this game against when the emotions are involved, fans. What are some things Providence can't do to get this win?
I would say definitely penalties. That's something that we've kind of have struggled with a little bit in the past. Just maybe if it's offside holding call, those things will ruin momentum. Like especially later on in the drive. We need to have long drives, be able to hold the ball well, run the ball well. And that's something that if we get those penalty flags, that will absolutely ruin our momentum, and that will hinder us from really playing how we know we can play.
You heard it here first. Craig Pittman, my dude, man. Hey, appreciate you coming on the Sweet Spot, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Solo Shots on the Sweet Spot. I'm your host, Corey Bradley. Corey Bradley making a house call with my dude, Calvin Mcclintock, as they get ready for one of their bigger games, especially at this part of the season, obviously, but a rivalry between Providence Christian and Northside Methodist. So, Calvin Mcclintock, appreciate you coming on the show, my man.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Dude, man. So, first of all, I got to ask you, what's your sweet spot moment?
Sweet spot moment. Gotta be when you see that green grass. I have a story. Freshman year, I caught a pass and I took a big hit and I expected to go down. But I don't know, my legs just stayed under me and I just got hit like this. I look up and all I see is green grass. And I'm like, go. And I got hawked. I did get hawked, but I got hawked in the end zone. So it was a touchdown. So it was amazing. I've had no other feeling like that. Just that feeling of green grass when you just go. You got the ball in your hands, you just see green. It just feels amazing.
So as an Eagle, you obviously play football. You've done baseball. You play basketball.
Yes, sir.
That's the best feeling out of all the sports?
Easily. Nothing like it. I've been hooping since I was a kid. I'm coming back for baseball this year, but nothing like it. Nothing like it.
So we got breaking news on the Sweet Spot. I didn't know you was coming back for baseball. I was wondering, as I asked that question, I'm like, okay, so it's a senior year. Most people in their senior year do what they can, man.
I'm going to play it all. I'm going to play it all this year.
All right, man. Before we get into the Northside game, man, just take me through your injury last year. Talk about what happened as far as the diagnosis and just your rehab process, everything that led into coming back.
So first quarter, first game of the year last year against Highland Home, broke my foot, 3 broken bones, 4 torn ligaments. I was told I wasn't going to be out till April, and I wasn't going to be able to play anything. So that means no football, no basketball, and even if I really wanted to play baseball, that's what made me think I was probably going to play baseball was like I might be able to come back for a playoff run or something like that, be in the dugout. But the Lord mercifully brought me back in December. So I played on a legendary Providence basketball team, best Providence basketball team we've ever had, best record, went pretty far. I came back in December before area play even started, and I did not expect that whatsoever. So all glory to God in that. And seriously, the rehab was way easier than the internet had listed because it had said multiple NFL players' careers had ended from it. So it was scary, but trusting the Lord, it helped, seriously.
Dude, man, like you said, it's all God. Everything starts with Him. Everything ends with Him, and anything is possible with Him. Like we always talk about that, man. You always hear people say that, but to have that as a testimony, that'll be something that not only will carry on throughout the rest of your life, but you'll be in positions. I promise you, God will put you in positions to be able to share your testimony with others. Because, like, okay, this is what people said. This is what the doctor said. This is what the internet says. But God is sovereign, man.
Yeah, it's not easy, and you don't realize it until you actually experience it.
Yeah.
And like I think on one of the verses, it's like a painful experience will make you change your way in John, and it just it's made me a whole different perspective on my life since then.
Yeah. Man, my dude, Calvin Mcclintock. Look, he's the third. He's the final. The last one, I've had Collins on the show. I had Cooper on the show. Now I get a chance to have Calvin on the show, man. As we wrap up the trio. The trilogy, baby. Here on the sweet spot, man. Get a chance to sit down with my dude here as we talk about a little football. Man, 33-7.
Yes, sir.
Opening season victory over Vicksburg. Talk about how that game helps you prepare for the Knights.
Well, for one, we got Team of the Week, and I think that was just a little bit of a confidence boost because I'm not going to say we were really doubted, but we had a really big senior class last year, had a lot of injuries, and we got a lot of dudes playing this year that haven't played since freshman year or never played football. So we got a lot of new dudes, but we got some dudes who are ready to hit.
Yeah.
Because all summer this year, we barely hit each other because we don't have much depth. So our coach was like, we're going to get you to play on Friday. That's the plan, is play on Friday. So we were ready to hit somebody. Yeah. We went to the Vicksburg Jamboree when they played Geneva County.
Okay.
And we were like, we can play with these dudes for sure. They're physical, but we're ready to hit somebody. Yeah. So we came prepared. We did our job. We screwed up. It's the first game of the year. You don't have screw ups. So we had screw ups, but I think we just played harder. And the word that we've been using is endurance. And we had endurance in that game. And I think for Northside, it's never an easy game with them. No matter how much we think the skill difference is, or if we think we're a better team, it's always a close game with them. It's a rivalry game. So I think it's just prepared more, like the word I said, endurance. So I think when we play on that turf that we're not used to tomorrow, when we get punched in the mouth, we're going to be ready for it. And I think that we're going to see how we react. And we're going to react well.
Man, so you look at that Northside team who's going through a little youth as well. I mean, you talk about your team as far as some of the guys that you have coming back, some new seniors who hadn't played in a while or new to the sport altogether. You got Northside, man. They have 6 returning defensive starters, but only 3 on offense, man. Yeah. So they're looking to find their way just like every other team at this point of the season when it's early on. Even the real super talented teams are still trying to find out who they are because you've lost graduation, you lost some through transfers. There's always attrition going from one season to the next.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So tell me what about that program, though, about the Knights. What kind of challenge do they pose based on what you've seen, what you've heard? What have you seen on the film that, okay, this is going to be a test for us based on what they have in their present?
So they got to do Jordan Sanford. They got
Jordan, shout out, man. Dude's a thumper.
Yeah, bro. They got a middle linebacker. Yeah. He comes down. He comes down ready to hit.
Yeah.
So we got to block that dude. Yeah. That's for sure. We're gonna have to block that dude. And I think Northside. I think the biggest thing for us when we look at them, they've never beat us.
Yeah.
And they've never beat HA either. So I think when they see us on their schedule, it's like we got to win that game. That's the game we got to win. So we know we got a target on our back. We know that they're coming for us. So, and they were close, real close 2 years ago, and my sophomore year. So I think the biggest thing is, like, we're not going to take this game lightly because we do think that we're prepared well for this game, but we're not taking it very lightly. I'd say that. But yeah, I'd say that is their motivation to beat us or play with us. For sure. Yeah.
So when we look at, you talked about how that close win from last year and 2 years ago. This is a new rivalry, as you know. Northside recently joined Alabama High School a few years ago, and so this Providence Northside matchup hasn't always been an option.
Yeah.
So when we look at the first year, y'all played each other. Providence won 71-35.
Oh yeah.
And then the next year was 49-30.
Yes, sir.
And then the third year 17-14. And then last year was 19-10, but it was 12-10 at first.
Yeah.
Until my guy Craig hit Grant Baker late in the game, and he ended up with a 19-10 victory. So let me ask you this, man. Are the Knights inching closer to the Providence Christian Eagles? Are they knocking down the door?
They're definitely coming. That's their goal. And I think a little bit last year, a lot of things went wrong for us. If you watch the film, a lot of holding calls, a lot of penalties, and it's also raining. raining on turf that we're not used to playing on. So there were some fumbles. I think our QB fumbled twice. I know one of our receivers dropped a punt or two. So a lot of things went wrong for us, and I think a lot of things went right for Northside. They had the quarterback played well, a receiver that played really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of things went right for them and a lot of things went wrong for us. But I still think that we're a step ahead of them in a program, and I think that we're well prepared for tomorrow, and I think we should take care of them. Of course, if God wills it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So in order for Providence to go 5-0 against the Knights and 2-0 overall in the season,
Mm-hmm.
which unit do you believe need to step up to help the Providence Christian Eagles get that victory?
So I'm going to go ahead and say, we played Wicksburg last week, and they don't throw the ball much. They're more of a run-heavy team.
Mm-hmm.
So Northside, we've prepared a lot more for the pass.
Yeah.
So I think our defensive backs are going to have to step up this week, and I fully prepare. I think that we're prepared, and I think they will. But I think I got to go with DBs.
So we talk DBs. Conversely, receivers, man, talk about this special group that y'all got.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier.
I need to hear about it, man.
Yeah,
let the audience know about this the skill set that we have.
We got a special receiving core this year. We got Christian Sutton, me, John Martin Bird, Colson Love, Tyler Sharp, Parker Hall, and Walker Morton, who's back playing this year, who had an outstanding game last week.
Yeah.
2 catches for like 110 yards. Yeah.
Dude, man, I've seen you guys for years play, and then everybody you mentioned has been a stud. And, we've been waiting. People have been waiting for your senior class.
Yes, sir.
They've been waiting for this moment. Providence went through a youth spell, too, the last 2-3 years. Yeah. But, hey, Providence Christian Eagles are coming. Not just football, basketball, baseball. They've been waiting on this senior class with Calvin Mcclintock. I'm telling you, even though there's some guys who left, this is the class people have been waiting for, man.
Yes,
so, dude, I'm excited to see what you guys do, not just on the field, but on the court, on the diamond. And, man, I know it's going to be a battle, dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Man, Calvin Mcclintock, appreciate you, my boy.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir, man.
Of course.
Dude.